this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
The springtime thaw is finally here. Flowers are blooming, days are longer. We're saying yes to more plans and finally getting outside, running, walking, just moving again. It's the perfect time to upgrade your everyday go-tos with Bombas. Take Bombas sport socks. They're super comfortable and designed with sport-specific tech for running, cycling, yoga, hiking, you name it. I use them to run in, and I can tell you they work beautifully. So head over to bombas.com and use code SYSK for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code SYSK at checkout.
Hey folks, owning a home means one thing. Something's gonna break. AC, plumbing, fridge, and it's never convenient or cheap. That's where American Home Shield comes in. An AHS Home warranty can help protect your wallet from pricey breakdowns on even your oldest appliances and systems. And if they can't repair the covered item, they'll replace it. So check out American Home Shield and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry. Be warranty.
Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, and it's Chuck, and that means it's time for a select episode where we handpick and curate some of our favorite eps over the years to be re-released on Saturdays in case you don't have anything going on. This one goes all the way back to September 29th, 2016. It's about polar bears. They are super fascinating and cool, and you will walk away with more than one dinner party fact that you can throw at your friends. How polar bears work right now.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know, a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant. Scratching out a significant amount of this article.
Like literally as we started recording.
That's important stuff. There's like numbers and dates and weights and temperatures and that. That's important stuff you just scratched out.
I feel like it's all covered in the body of the text of the article, though.
Well, I mean, that's one way to do an intro, as anybody in journalism can tell you. You can write the article and then go back and summarize it as an intro.
Yeah.
I've never been partial to that.
Yeah.
The intro to me is just like this stream of consciousness.
It is, now.
It tells you where the rest of the article is going to go because you don't know, man. Because it's all jazz, baby.
Yeah. Polar bears.
Polar bears.
Not
the Polar Bear Club. Although they may have clubs.
Oh, yeah.
They're one of the least studied mammal populations on the planet.
It's because it's cold. No one wants to go hang out and watch them.
Yeah, pretty much. And because it's also extremely dangerous to study polar bears up close and personal.
Yeah, they look cuddly, but they will...
Especially Newt.
They will, yeah.
Remember Newt?
Yeah, I got a little bit about Newt.
Oh, okay.
Very sad.
But you were going to say they look cute and cuddly, but don't leave us hanging.
Well, you go up to hug one like you want to.
Right.
And you get your face eaten.
Oh, yeah. If you're lucky, that's all that happens to you.
You know?
I saw pictures of a guy who survived a polar bear attack.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He was messed up. Like, I guess it was still attached, but 3/4 of his scalp was now flip backable.
Mm.
Like, there's a hole clear through his Achilles tendon and his ankle.
Wow.
So, like, his Achilles tendon was intact, and the front of his ankle was intact, but in between the two was gone.
That could have been a claw poke or a fang.
Yeah, it could have been like flicking it with its thumb and middle finger.
Very strong. It's one of nature's cruelest things to make an animal so huggable. And
so deadly.
So, yeah. You know, if you hug a polar bear, it's bad news.
Yeah. It's like one of those black widows that marry and kill.
Right.
Well, that's just my interpretation of polar bears, you know.
You mean the Ursus maritimus?
Yeah, and maritimus is it's a legitimate thing to call it because technically a polar bear is a sea animal, a sea mammal.
Yeah,
because they spend most of their time actually on the sea.
That's right, and in the sea sometimes, as we'll find out.
Right.
Well, I guess we're knee deep in this thing, huh?
Yeah, because you skipped the intro.
So the polar bear, what they think, and I enjoy our animal casts a lot.
Me too.
And they're some of my favorite ones. I just wanted to say that. Although the polar bear doesn't, despite its huggability, doesn't compete with the jellyfish or the octopus.
Sure.
But it's up there.
Sure it is.
Because you can hug a jellyfish.
I think...
And an octopus. That's a great hug.
Yeah.
It's 8 times as
Yeah,
good.
they won't let go.
Or I guess 4 times as good.
Yeah.
All right, so the polar bear...
two times as good. Because polar bear has 4.
No, I meant as a human hug.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So Jerry even liked that one. So the polar bear evolved, as best as we know, a couple of 100,000 years ago from the brown bear.
Actually, I saw the scientific consensus is between 5 million and 600,000 years.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Because I saw the 200,000 all over the place.
Did you really?
Yeah, but it might be one of those, how the internet is.
Like, I think Science Magazine used the term scientific consensus.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, I think that might be. I think that might be right.
They threw down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say, let's go with the scientific consensus. Then.
Okay.
And not our own article on our own website.
Right.
But they did evolve from the brown bear, they think. And one of the ways that they back this up is by saying polar bear can go have sex with a brown bear, and they can make a baby bear, and that bear can actually have babies.
Yeah.
Which means everything jibes.
Do you remember I think it was our evolution and isolation episode?
Ah, that was a good one.
Where we talked about speciation events.
Uh-huh.
And we talked about this, how the brown bear just kept ranging further and further north. And as their kind of habitat changed, they actually evolved into a different species, the polar bear, right?
Yeah, I remember that now.
But I remember a species or a speciation event taking place when the two groups could no longer reproduce. That was my memory of it. But I guess not, because I went back and double checked, and it's like, oh, polar bears are different species, but it can reproduce with brown bears.
Huh.
And it does make sense because humans and Neanderthals,
Yeah.
if you're a pedant, could reproduce and have fertile offspring, and they're definitely two different species of humans.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Yeah, they were.
Well, occasionally people get together and have a few drinks, and science is created.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So there are way more brown bears. Everyone knows, and we're going to talk a lot about this, that the polar bear, I'm not sure the official designation. I don't think it's officially listed. Well, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
As the official listings is threatened or,
right.
The like.
It depends on the country it's in.
Yeah, but they're not doing great. There's only about 25,000 polar bears, and their habitat is shrinking, literally, physically shrinking.
Yeah, that's the big problem, is that the melting of Arctic sea ice, as we'll see, is the Arctic sea ice is where they live.
Right.
They live on ice floating out in the Arctic Ocean.
Yes.
And they don't like to be on land. When they are on land, it's a problem for them.
Yeah.
So the decrease in Arctic sea ice that's going on because of climate change is affecting them tremendously.
Yeah, and affecting the rest of the ecosystem.
But yeah, definitely. Because say like if they get stranded on land, they start hunting on for land mammals.
Right.
Which affects the ecosystem, and that now their competition that's not normally there for prey.
Exactly.
There's all sorts of ripple effects that are coming out of it.
Yeah.
But one thing I did see is that the polar bears that are really, really far north are actually benefiting from the melting ice.
Oh, really?
Because it's easier for them to hunt now.
Oh, because it's just less area to cover?
It's the ice is thinner.
Oh.
So they can hunt more easily on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you said north, because you're not going to find polar bears at the South Pole, where Santa lives.
And penguins.
No, wait, Santa lives at the North Pole.
North Pole, with the polar bears.
That's right. We've all seen the Coca-Cola commercials.
Yeah, but that has penguins in it.
Yeah.
And penguins and polar bears would never meet.
Yeah, that's true.
Except maybe at a zoo.
Yeah, that is true. They had polar bears at the San Diego Zoo.
There's a polar bear in China, in a mall in China, that has a zoo, and it is
Ugh.
one of the saddest things I've ever heard of. I signed a petition last night to free it.
Oh, really?
Its name is Pizza, and it's the Pizza the polar bear.
Wow.
It's the saddest. I think it's billed as the saddest polar bear on the planet.
Oh, man.
It's so sad. Look into it, Chuck.
I'll sign the petition.
I guarantee you will.
And you know what? I bet we could get a lot of people to sign that petition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if it matters.
Okay.
Do petitions matter? Do they make a difference?
I
It
think
feels...
if they're accompanied with the right, press, media pressure.
Right.
Sure.
Or like a mafia thug
Right.
to deliver the papers.
I got a petition for you.
I highly recommend you read it. So polar bears do live only in the northern hemisphere. Those 25,000 are in 19 distinct populations in just five countries, including the United States.
Yeah, that's funny because their habitat is at the top of the world, where 5 countries basically come together.
Yeah. Alaska.
Yeah, that's the U.S. part.
Sure.
Canada, obviously. I think 2/3 of all polar bears actually live in Canada.
Yes,
even
very
though
nice.
If you asked them that, they wouldn't be able to tell you. Russia is another big one. Norway
Yep,
and Greenland.
that is correct. And it is tough living up there for humans, but not for polar bears. They love it. They are well adapted over the years.
Yeah, supposedly, if they run for any bit of time, they have to stop and lay down
Yeah.
because they'll overheat and they will exhaust themselves.
Yeah, I identified a lot when I was reading this with the polar bear.
Right.
I kind of like these guys.
They are incredibly well adapted, which is another reason why I think they don't think it's any less than 600,000 years that they evolved from brown bears.
Right, because it takes a while.
It would take so long for these they're really different from brown bears. Brown bears are basically herbivores.
Uh-huh.
Polar bears are carnivores.
Yeah.
They eat seal blubber. Brown bears eat berries.
Right.
And the occasional human on accident, maybe.
Yeah.
But polar bears are give me some seals. I want them.
I bet they would eat some berries if someone offered them up for dessert, maybe.
Maybe.
But there are no berries.
Right.
You know?
But it would take a lot because they get kind of big and they need a lot of fat to ward off the cold.
Well, yeah, and they have a lot of it. They have 2 layers of fur and then a full blubber layer that's about 4.5 inches thick of just blubber.
Yeah, supposedly 50% of their weight at any given time, or when they're fully developed or nourished,
Yeah.
is blubber.
Well,
Is their own fat.
Since you mentioned the weight, we'll go ahead and throw some stats out.
Okay.
Adult males, 8 or 9 feet.
9 feet.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's the biggest bear. The polar bear is the biggest of the bears.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Not the Berenstein bears.
Berenstain.
Adult females, 6 to 8 feet, and the males weigh up to 1,300 pounds. 9 feet tall and 1,300 pounds.
Yeah,
That's intimidating.
it is.
You've
And-
seen Lost?
I haven't. This article mentioned it, though.
Of course, because it was probably written when these stats were accurate. The females can get up to about 700 pounds. Those claws I mentioned, about 2 inches, and they live about 20 years.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. That's really short.
20 years?
Sure.
I didn't think that was too bad for a bear.
Oh, I thought it was very short.
What'd you think? What's a good bear span for you, lifespan?
40 or 50 years.
Yeah?
That's what I want to see for a bear.
Yeah. Well, we all do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
20 years, this is live fast, die young type age. You know?
So their paws, which we mentioned, the claws, they have these big, beautiful, fat, round paws that act like snowshoes. And they walk and they spread out when they walk on the ice and sort of distribute their weight. And in fact, when they're on thin ice, they even spread their arms out wider. It's very cute. And they have these little papillae on their bottom paws.
Right.
These little nubs, because ice is slippery. And the front paws are actually slightly webbed for swimming. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's a sea bear.
It is. The maritimus. Ursa maritimus. So let's talk about some of its actual habits and the things it does after a break. You want to?
Yes.
Talk about trust.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
Our listeners love puzzles, paradoxes, and hidden patterns almost as much as we do. On TikTok, those fascinations come to life. People are breaking down physics, exploring geology, and explaining why the world works the way it does. You'll see impressive experiments, explanations that finally make sense, and connections you didn't expect. It's like having a lab, a lecture hall, and science museum in your pocket. TikTok is where wonder is shared, where curiosity turns into discovery, and where millions learn something new every day.
All cat parents understand the feeling of being ignored by your cat and often asking yourself, does my cat even love me? And there is only one solution to solve that, Sheba. Feed your cat Sheba and go from feeling ignored to truly adored in 12 days guaranteed or your money back. Sheba has a menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, and even a kitten's menu. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater, like the Sheba Puree, which is made with bone broth. It's a protein-rich, lickable treat with chef-inspired flavors. It has a smooth and creamy texture that cats love. Plus, it supports a strong bond between pet parents and their cats with a hand-fed cat treat. It also contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. So instead of feeling ignored, you're suddenly the center of their world. It's basically a fast pass to favorite human status. Next time you're wondering if your cat loves you, grab Sheba Puree or explore their entire range of textures and flavors at your local retailer. To learn more, check out Sheba.com.
Learning stuff with Joshua and Charles. Stuff you should know.
Chuck, you mentioned their fur, right?
Yeah,
So, you know their fur is translucent.
that's right.
They're not.
We
it's
talked
not
about that
actually
on
white.
another episode at some point.
Probably the Evolve in Isolation one.
Yeah, or maybe translucent or
Oh, maybe.
or
The butterfly's wings one?
yeah,
What is, I can't remember what it's called. Iridescence.
iridescence.
That was a really interesting episode, too.
It was.
But yeah, their fur is actually, it's translucent because it's hollow.
Uh-huh.
And it's hollow because it traps air, and then their body heat can warm the air.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, have you ever camped when it was cold? And
Yes.
all you need is one of those little thin blow-up mats because your body heat warms the air underneath it.
Thermarest.
Right.
That's a brand name, but sure.
Right. Okay. So it's the same thing, but this is their fur that's doing that.
Yeah.
And since it's hollow and translucent, it actually scatters all colors of light and creates this white appearance, like a quartz would or something like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So they're not actually white, coated in white fur. It's all an illusion.
Yeah, so if you saw a polar bear in New York City, it would be the color of street garbage.
Right, like a chameleon.
It's not true.
Street garbage color. What color is that?
Well, you know.
Grayish mustard?
Yeah, it's like a pizza box. Then there'll be some recycling.
Mm-hmm.
And then just New York apartment detritus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the colors of the rainbow. All right, so the fur is not all over their body. The parts of their body that don't have this thick insulation and this blubber, the tail and the muzzle and the ears have adapted to be small because it's not as insulated with that blubber.
Mm-hmm. So it requires less energy to heat.
Yeah.
And it has less surface to lose heat from, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, these guys are like incredibly well adapted for their environment, which is really saying something because their environment is about as inhospitable to a mammal as you can imagine.
Yes.
They are routinely comfortable and apparently have no heat loss whatsoever at temperatures of like negative, what is it, like
Negative 50 Fahrenheit.
negative 50.
Yeah.
That's the temperature they're comfortable in. And they actually, they experience no change in body temperature at a temperature of negative 34 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 37 Celsius.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're just like, they're unaffected by it.
Yeah.
They're that well suited to the environment.
So we mentioned them walking. They can walk great distances, up to 20 miles, 30 kilometers a day, for days and days in a row. And they've been tracked swimming up to 60 miles, which is amazing.
Okay, one other thing.
Yeah.
I saw a Canadian Geographic article, which is a thing.
Okay.
And this was a 2012 article, and they mentioned a recent study, so probably 2010, 2011, maybe 2012 study, found polar bears swimming as a result of climate change up to 687 kilometers.
Wow.
That's 426 miles.
That's to get from ice to ice?
Yes.
Man, that's sad.
426 miles. These things are just swimming like,
Well, and I don't think they're supposed to swim that far.
No, definitely not.
You know?
No, but they can. They'll do it.
That's amazing. And they're doing that to eat that sweet, sweet seal blubber.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, the sea ice is their habitat. This is where they live. It's where they sleep. It's where they hunt, most importantly.
Yeah. So they don't. Another big difference with the brown bear is they don't hibernate like your average bear. You like that? Females sort of semi-hibernate when they're kind of pre and post pregnancy, but it's not true hibernation in like the biological sense.
You want to talk about mating?
Oh, sure.
Specifically polar bear mating?
Oh, yeah. I guess we should.
So, again, they are a fairly not closely studied mammal population, right? So scientists actually aren't entirely sure how females signal to males that they're ready to reproduce.
Right.
And the reason why is the females don't appear to actually go into any kind of heat. They have something called induced ovulation, right?
Yes.
Which is once they're mating, they start to ovulate.
Yeah, it actually, the intercourse is what causes the ovulation.
Right, and not always. Sometimes it takes several times.
Yeah, you got to be good.
You got to know what you're doing, right? And once they actually do,
Mate.
I guess, sure.
Yeah.
Once the egg is fertilized,
Yes.
the embryo doesn't actually start developing right away either.
Yeah, that's super interesting. It's an 8-month gestation, but the first 4 months,
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, just the fetus is just like waiting while the mom eats and eats and eats, and prepares for that long period, as we'll see, where she has her little cub and
Cubs.
A couple at a time.
Usually twins. Isn't that cute?
You've seen polar bear cubs, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty adorable.
Twins, Chuck.
They're born blind, without teeth. They probably make cute little noises. They're not insulated, so they need mom. Like, if polar bear mom dies right away, polar bear cubs will not survive.
Oh, yeah, they're toast.
0 chance.
Yeah, like you said, they're born blind and without teeth. They have really thin fur, no insulation. They weigh about 1 pound and are 1 foot long, which is really tiny for a bear that's going to grow into 1,300 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the mom makes a den when she's carrying her embryos and starts to fatten up. She goes and makes a little winter den, sometimes a snow den, which, by the way, you should see that movie, Snowden. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The documentary or the movie?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she'll make a little snow cave, snow den, that kind of thing. Or use an actual cave. But for the most part, she's usually just digging out a little space for herself.
Sure.
And then she'll give birth and then nurse the cubs for at least their first 20 months.
Yeah, they have to hang out with mama for a while and drink that milk.
Yeah, I think maybe a couple years, maybe up to 4 years, they spend with mom, like learning to hunt and all that kind of stuff. But she doesn't leave the snow den for like the first several months.
Yeah, dad splits after a week.
Right.
He's like, my work here is done. I might even go get someone else pregnant.
Right.
They're not monogamous. The females, they're lady bears.
Right.
They mate successfully, usually between the age of 6 and 8 years old, and they only, for a mammal, don't reproduce a lot, which is one of the reasons there's only 25,000 of them. They only have about 5 litters over their lifespan, whereas some mammals, they just have litter upon litter every year.
Right.
Of multiple little cubs.
Yeah, which is another reason why, a loss to the polar bear population is
Sure.
so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
They don't their replacement rate is kind of low.
That's right. And there could be, a battle over mating with a female because it's sparse out there. It's not the most happening scene for picking up.
It's not a fern bar.
No, it's not a fern bar. So if that happens, they will fight. They won't kill each other.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, of course, the human in me is like, they know that they're dwindling, so they won't kill each other.
Right.
Of course, it's not true at all.
That's funny because the human in me was like, they're like, it's really tough out here, so we all got to stick together.
Yeah, you'd like to think that. But what they do is they will lower their head, but pin their ears back and roar. It's kind of a lot of posturing, but there could be like an injury that occurs fighting over who to mate with.
Right, but not to the death.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens occasionally. There's probably a jerk bear every now and then.
Yeah.
This feels threatened.
Todd.
Yeah, he's all on steroids. But when a death will happen is if anyone messes with those cubs, because mama bear
Sure.
will take you down,
Yeah.
like without thinking twice.
Right.
It's very sweet.
So the little bears have been brought up by their mom, the twins, Chuck and Buck. They have been brought up by their mom and raised to hunt, and now they know what they're doing. So if you could drop in on either one of those guys, and actually I was really surprised to hear this. The males will like hang out with one another.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily territorial.
Yeah, they'll even share a meal occasionally if they have enough.
Again, that's because they're like, it's tough out here, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
They're like, brother, can you spare a dime?
I've had my 100 pounds of blubber today.
Right.
Which is literally how much they can eat.
Right. So when they hunt, they prefer ice, like a bit of ice, sea ice that
Sure.
they can sit on. And actually what they'll do is they look for holes in the ice. The main prey of the polar bear is the ringed seal.
Yeah.
It's their favorite. They'll eat other stuff. They'll eat just about anything. A whale carcass, a live beluga whale that they can catch, walruses, whatever. But they really go nuts for ringed seals.
Yeah.
Okay? So ringed seals have a thing where whenever it's the ice is thin enough for them to dig through, and by thin enough we're talking like 6 feet,
Yeah.
right? The seal has these basically appendages on its flippers that are sharp.
Yeah.
And they use it to carve holes through the sea ice.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the seal's breathing holes. And they make about 10 to 15 of them every season. And then they'll keep them like open throughout the season. They maintain them.
Yeah.
So they're hunting down there. They're eating their own stuff. They need to come up for air sometimes. Well, polar bears stake these things out because they know that a seal has to come up for air every like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like whack-a-mole almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's sad in a way, but it's also it's sad
pretty-
for the seal.
It is.
But it's necessary.
And it's pretty sharp too. But it's an amazing waiting game that requires tons of patience.
Like you can watch videos on YouTube of a bear, and this is like a 1,000-pound bear, like very gingerly, because the seal can see what's going on or feel it,
Right.
and they very quietly walk up to these holes and just wait, like a cat almost.
Hours,
Yeah,
days.
just waiting and smelling. They can smell like 20 miles.
Right.
So you can bet they can smell down into that hole.
Sure.
And then there's one that slow-mo video of this bear like leaping up in the air, and the whole, basically everything but his butt and his hind legs goes down into that water.
Right.
Grabs that seal with those claws.
And that seal goes.
Yeah. He's like, curse these breathing holes that I need.
Why couldn't I have had gills?
Yeah. And the bear eats well, like I said, about 100 pounds in a meal.
And it's also horrific.
Yeah.
Because they're white and the blood from the seal really stands out against
Yeah,
that.
and on the ice and snow, it's like it does. It looks like a horror movie.
But bears have actually evolved to clean up immediately after eating. So they'll eat and eat and eat. Like you said, they'll eat like 100 pounds of blubber at a time. And when the hunting's good, they'll just eat the seal's blubber.
Sure.
Right? And actually, what's interesting is the omega-3s in that seal blubber actually cut down on the type of cholesterol that would allow plaque to build up in their arteries.
Oh, wow.
So they can subsist basically on a diet of
fat
seal blubber.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing.
And right after they finish this meal, they're covered in blood, and it's really, again, horrific. They'll take a bath. Depending on the time of year, they'll take a bath in the sea itself, or they'll take a snow bath, and then they'll take a little nap.
Well, because they need that, like you said, they need that fur to remain translucent and clean in order to stay warm and dry. So, they clean up to keep themselves warm, not just because they look like something out of a Wes Craven movie.
Right. But also because they have to remain camouflaged, too.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, before we take a break, I do want to mention the very funny thing. If a polar bear does not get that seal in the hole, they can throw a little hissy fit.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been known to, like, pound the ice in frustration. And I don't think, like, people are, putting their stuff on the bear. Like, they literally, like, when they miss the seal, start throwing things around and beating on the ice because they're angry.
Like, imagine waiting at an air hole for 2 days.
Yeah.
The seal finally comes up and you miss. Yeah, I don't think it's anthropomorphizing either.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. All right, well, let's take a break, and we'll talk a little bit about their dwindling ice and numbers after this.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. The universe is full of mysteries. Black holes, quantum physics, galaxies. On TikTok, millions of people are learning more about the universe around them every day. Scientists break down complex theories, demonstrate experiments, and connect dots between the cosmos and our daily lives. One scroll might reveal the concepts on the fabric of space-time, the next an optical illusion. It's discovery on a massive scale, where millions learn something new every day.
All cat parents understand the feeling of being ignored by your cat and often asking yourself, does my cat even love me? And there is only one solution to solve that, Sheba. Feed your cat Sheba and go from feeling ignored to truly adored in 12 days guaranteed or your money back. Sheba has a menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, and even a kitten's menu. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater, like the Sheba Puree, which is made with bone broth. It's a protein-rich, lickable treat with chef-inspired flavors. It has a smooth and creamy texture that cats love. Plus, it supports a strong bond between pet parents and their cats with a hand-fed cat treat. It also contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. So instead of feeling ignored, you're suddenly the center of their world. It's basically a fast pass to favorite human status. Next time you're wondering if your cat loves you, grab Sheba Puree or explore their entire range of textures and flavors at your local retailer. To learn more, check out Sheba.com.
Learning stuff with Joshua and Charles. Stuff you should know.
All right, we're back. One thing we did not mention that I think is obvious, but we might as well say it, is the polar bear is nothing hunts the polar bear.
Right.
They are the king daddies and mamas of their land.
The apex predator.
Yeah, which is a pretty good place to be. The bad place to be, if you're a polar bear, is where you live and hunt because, like we said, it's shrinking and it creates a lot of problems. We mentioned a little bit about the ecosystem. You know, they'll go in there and they'll eat birds and eggs and things like that when they have to. Caribou, maybe
On the shoreline?
Yeah, but they're not supposed to be eating that stuff,
Right.
And they're not supposed to be encountering humans as often as they are either, which is a problem in some parts of the world.
But yeah, well, there's actually a town in Manitoba called Churchill that's developed basically it's made itself a tourist destination for polar bear tourism. But it's like one of the few places in the world that's like an established settlement where Westerners can come and
View them?
yeah.
Yeah.
But even in Churchill, they occasionally have to like shoot the polar bears if they just won't leave.
Yeah.
And apparently, little PSA here: if you ever encounter a polar bear, do not lay down and play dead. That's not what you want to do.
Yeah, is it like regular bears? You try to make yourself look big?
Look big, make a lot of noise, chase them off. Apparently, they'll break out. There's another town in, I think, Norway that they'll like rev their snowmobiles. They'll get the town helicopter out and try to scare them off like that.
Yeah, that's the one, Svalbard,
Yeah.
which has 2,300 people and 3,000 polar bears.
Yeah,
So they've probably gotten pretty used to fending for themselves.
yeah, they have. For the most part, the bears will leave because from everything I saw, the polar bear in particular isn't interested in encountering humans. It's not their thing.
No, it's like almost any wildlife. They're forced into that situation.
Yeah, if you look at bear attacks, though, like a grizzly bear will attack you while you're just sleeping quietly in a sleeping bag anywhere near it, and it comes into your camp, it'll maul you. You're dead. The polar bear list of polar bear attacks do not include stuff like that. It's a polar bear that you've startled, or you're very hungry, or it's very hungry, and you happen to have meat in your pockets.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, in Churchill, Manitoba, their stats, they have had 2 people killed in 300 years by polar bears.
Yeah, that's a pretty good track record for one of 2 towns where...
Not bad.
Yeah.
One of them was because these kids saw a bear and started throwing rocks at it.
Not a good idea.
So the bear was like, all right, jerks, here I come. And then the second one was a dude had meat in his pockets.
You know,
Yeah.
he was eating at a diner. He wanted a to-go box.
Got his meatloaf.
They're like, just put that meatloaf in your pocket. And he's
be
like,
fine.
I guess I will this one time. And the one time. But actually, if you do look at the polar bear stats, right?
For attacks.
Fatal attacks by polar bears in the United States and Canada. And remember, 60% of all polar bears live in Canada.
Yeah.
So this is a substantial amount of the polar bears. There have been 8 fatal attacks in the United States and Canada by polar bears since 1972. 4 of those took place in zoos where humans climbed into the enclosure with the polar bear.
I saw this one lady that wanted to swim with them.
Yeah,
And she jumped in and got bitten on like the arm and back and was like screaming, and they fished her out.
Oh, she survived?
She survived.
What a bad idea.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a thing. There's a dude in Toledo before I was born who was found in the polar bear enclosure at the Toledo Zoo, and they think he was probably on drugs. And I'm sure he was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to go hang out with that polar bear.
Yeah.
But think of it. 8 people died in the U.S. and Canada since 1972, half of them at the zoo.
Yeah.
Only 4 in the wild.
Yeah, so that's the real stat.
It does say a lot.
It does. And, you know, we said make yourself look big. If you don't know what that means the big trick is to, you probably got on a winter coat if you're living in one of these places. So just grab the bottom of your winter coat and pull it up over your head with your arms. And basically,
that's good.
yeah, you just appear like large. And that's one of the big survival tips for any bear, really. Just makes you look bigger and scarier.
Right.
Because bears are, actually polar bears are pretty smart. supposedly.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was about to say they were dumb, but they're one of the smarter mammals.
How so? Where'd you see that?
I was just on a polar bear site, and they were just literally ticking off all the like cognitive abilities. But I think they're supposed to be much smarter than like your average brown bear.
Yeah?
Yogi bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yogi's pretty smart. He can talk, wears a tie.
Yeah.
I think he's driven a car before.
You can get inside a picnic basket. Mm-hmm. I loved that when I was a kid. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Yogi Bear?
I liked Yogi Bear from, like, the original series all the way through the weird stuff in, like, the 70s.
I don't remember the weird stuff.
Like the Laugh Olympics.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All that.
Spinoffs and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Chuck, we've talked about it indirectly a couple of times, but the polar bear's habitat is shrinking tremendously, right?
Yes.
The ice is literally melting. And like I was saying in that one Canadian Geographic article, they were saying the bears in the south are really having trouble. And there are far more human bear encounters than there normally are.
Yeah.
Because if a bear makes his way to shore and summer strikes and the ice recedes,
they're stuck.
He's stuck.
Yeah.
They have to wait around until winter comes again or late fall and the ice starts to come back toward shore so they can swim toward it.
Yeah, or swim 400 miles.
Right, exactly. So that's creating a problem, especially for the ones that are in the southern range. But the ones that are in the northern range are enjoying like easier hunting than ever.
Yeah.
Because the ice is thinning out for them, so the seals can get through it more easily. So there's more seals, so there's more hunting up north. The thing is that's not necessarily sustainable. Like they may be enjoying like a heyday right now, but eventually that ice will melt too, and well, they'll be goners.
Interesting.
Because a bear can overheat from running.
Yeah.
Right. So as the temperatures increase, the bear's actual physical health is in danger, let alone their habitat shrinking.
Yeah.
So they're not entirely certain what to do.
I looked up hunting polar bears, and I think the Inuit people are allowed to.
No.
Well, there are certain places in Canada where you can get an exemption, but it's apparently very rare and controlled.
And very expensive.
Well, and expensive, and supposedly they say is well within the bounds of not harming the overall population number.
Well, again, I'm sorry to keep going back to this but that Canadian Geographic article, I should probably say the name. I think it's called like The Truth About Polar Bears.
Yeah.
Totally worth reading. But it talks a lot about managed hunting programs.
Being a good thing or bad?
They were saying it's as long as it's done right, basically everybody involved. I think they even cited the World Wildlife Fund as saying like, yeah, we should probably like manage these populations through hunting with very strict quotas. But yeah, the Inuits traditionally, or the Inuit and I think the Cree are two groups that have like virtually unrestricted hunting.
Yeah, like native rights.
But they're apparently trusted to stay within these limits.
Yeah, and the people that can pay to do it, I think, have to be taken in by Inuit guides.
Yeah.
And they actually, the Inuit families are who keeps the bear meat.
Right.
After the rich American.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Kills the bear.
That's great. Who cares about the meat? I just want to kill the bear.
Yeah, I just want the head on my wall.
I founded Jimmy John's. Isn't that the guy?
Yeah, he's a big game hunter.
Who else? Who's the other guy? The dentist that killed Leo the lion?
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened to him.
I bet his dentist practice suffered.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Oh, it definitely did, but I wonder if it rebounded since the internet got bored and moved on to something else.
Yeah, probably so. I'm not into any hunting for myself, but I certainly hate big game hunting for anyone.
I would like to put a call out. Like, anytime I've had discussions about hunting or whatever, and I've said I don't see the point in our modern world of hunting. It's always been countered with, well, hunting's a lot more humane than the factory farming that you're eating the meat from.
Yeah.
And I've never. that's always struck me as a straw man argument, but I've never been able to exactly identify why.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not, and that's why I've never been able to identify why, but it's always confounded me.
Yeah, I know that people talk about the populations and controlled hunting and all that being good for the population,
right?
Which I'm sure that's very valid. I'm just talking about me personally, like when push came to shove. I like hanging out in the woods. I like camping. I like shooting guns every now and then.
Oh, yeah?
At targets, sure. Shoot up some tin cans, it's fun.
Sure.
But when push came to shove, I could never like pull the trigger and kill an animal. I shot a squirrel when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
I think I've told that story. It was awful.
I've got 1 or 2 of those under my belt.
Yeah. And you either get into it or you don't, I guess. And all of my friends hunted growing up, in Georgia.
Sure.
At my church, like every single one of them. But my dad didn't hunt, so I didn't hunt.
Yeah.
And he didn't take a stand. He was into camping and hiking and not shooting animals.
Leaving nothing but footprints.
Yeah.
Taking nothing but photographs.
Yeah. It's not take only pictures and polar bear heads. Leave only footprints.
Leave only blood in the snow. And leave the polar bear meat behind for the Inuit.
So, Newt.
Newt.
You got anything else?
No.
Let's finish up with Newt. Everyone remembers Newt. Cutest polar bear ever. In Germany. And Newt died very sadly, had a seizure and fell into a pool. And they think that he probably drowned once he fell in.
Right, I think he had meningitis.
Well, no, they finally found out what it is. They couldn't find any kind of pathogen. And so this doctor, Harold Preuss, for the German Center of Neurodegenerative Disease, got together with Professor Alex Greenwood at the Leibniz Institute for Zoo and Wildlife Research. And they said that he had an autoimmune disease, they found out, because nothing made sense about the seizure. So they really wanted to investigate, not only for Newt's sake, but to, see if they could help other animals.
Right.
And it turns out that Newt is the very first animal, domesticated wild, ever diagnosed with an anti-NMDA receptor encephalitis.
Oh, that's what it was, encephalitis, not meningitis.
Yeah, which is a non-infectious form of encephalitis, which basically is when your body's own immune system attacks your brain.
Wow.
And it's the very first animal ever recorded to have this. So
poor Newt.
Well, poor Newt, but a big breakthrough to learn this.
That it can happen?
Yeah. Because now they can, study it, and Newt was the reason that they can make this progress. So maybe something good can come from that.
Yeah.
Very sad, though.
Sure.
Have a seizure and fall into water and drown.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Got anything else?
Got nothing else.
I do have one other thing. The Inuit, speaking of the Inuit, they have obviously a number of legends about polar bears.
Sure.
One of them is that they're actually shapeshifters,
Ooh.
human shapeshifters. Once they get in their igloos, they shed their polar bear skin and turn back into humans.
I like that.
The other is that when an Inuit kills a polar bear, they will put out like an offering of tools.
Uh-huh.
Again, with the idea that the polar bears have some sort of, they share an afterlife with humans, possibly as humans, and that they need these tools in the afterlife. And the better the spread of tools you give the polar bear, the more likely this polar bear is to tell other living polar bears, hey, you should let this guy kill you because he's going to hook you up with some amazing tools afterward.
Nice.
So go ahead and let him take your life.
Very spiritual.
It's pretty cool. They call him Nanook.
Yes. N-A-N-U-K.
Yeah.
Not O-O-K.
If you want to know more about Nanook, you can type the word polar bears into the search bar at howstuffworks.com. And since I said Nanook, it's time for listener mail.
I'm going to call this Letter from a Young Fan.
Oh, okay, good.
We like those, right?
Yeah, of course.
Hey, guys, I'm a 14-year-old fan. Actually, my 15th birthday is tomorrow, which is now in the past. Mm-hmm. So he's already 15. I wanted to get it out before then. I've been listening since last July, and I've recently been listening to the older podcast from the beginning. I'm about 3 years in at this point. I've never written in before because I had no real reason to. I recently started my freshman year at a new school, and it's been hard for me because I was homeschooled before this, and I could listen to you guys whenever I wanted to, but now I'm at a charter school, and I miss having you in my ear all the time. And then he sends, his name is Elias, and he sends a couple of PSs. If Jerry were to speak at a normal volume, would your microphones pick her up?
No.
I don't think so, Jerry. Would they? No, she shakes her head no. These are directional mics?
These are omnipresent mics.
Well, that means they should pick up Jerry.
Right, but they're not that good.
Oh, okay. No, Elias, these microphones are generally for when we put our mouths right upon them, and they're not meant to hear other things in the room.
Right, that's what they're made for.
Yeah, because she yells at us through most of the show.
Yeah.
No one ever hears it.
There's a lot of like shaking and twitching that we do.
And then to PPS, which is correct, recently came across how squatters work. You gave an example of renters who moved out but had invited a house guest who refused to move out, which classified as a squatter. I was wondering if you could rent for a month, stop paying, and refuse to move out, and invoke squatters' rights. Would that work? I'm not planning on trying it, but it invoked my curiosity. Elias, I don't think that would work because it takes many, many years to finally gain, I mean, you might be able to stay there for a little while, but I don't think you would be able to stay there for the years it would take to gain, I guess, ownership of the property.
Oh, that's what he's asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be able to stay there throughout the legal process, but I think it's 13 years that you have to stay somewhere.
Well, it depends
before
on the
you
state.
can. Okay.
Yeah,
but it's years, right?
Yeah, it takes a long time.
Sure.
And I would imagine at some point a landlord would eventually bring in Vinny and Jimmy.
Vinny and Toots.
Yeah, Vinny and Toots to make sure you leave.
Yeah.
That would be my guess.
The key here, Elias, is to go find yourself an abandoned house that clearly no one wants, move in there, spruce the place up, and start paying taxes on it.
Don't do that.
But
All
I'm
right.
just saying.
Sure.
Advice to 15-year-old listeners.
Thank you, Elias.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Elias. That was a good one. If you have a question, then you want to get in touch with us, you can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/stuffyoushouldknow. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com. And as always, join us at our home on the web, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
You could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute, so Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, their chef-inspired flavors. It's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection.
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
Safety that has your back. More discovery on the scenic routes. More passion in the details. And more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at MazdaUSA.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
Everyone knows winter is the real mess maker. You don't need WeatherTech floor liners for summer unless you hit the beach and half the beach ends up back in your car, or the campsite dirt ends up in your trunk. Then you'd want a cargo liner, or a road trip goes sideways, lemonade spills, ketchup goes rogue, ice cream drips. Yeah, you'd be pretty happy about those WeatherTech seat protectors. So just to be clear, as the mud you're inevitably going to step in this summer, you don't need WeatherTech unless you plan on doing summer. Visit WeatherTech.com today.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.